It's got a death curse.
Welcome back to the Death Curse Club podcast. I am the one, the only Zach Hilton, and alongside with me is the man, myth, legend, Jim.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm alive.
He's here. He's getting through the Pooniverse holidays. He's watching all of them. He's watching, I'm sure there's some kind of Scrooge Pooniverse. I'm sure there's some, the Mean One Pooniverse. I'm sure they're all over here in the Pooniverse.
Yeah, it's Poonaverse all the time. You just gotta keep rolls of toilet paper to keep up with all the poo.
Is the Mean One a part of that?
No, it's not. No,
Okay.
it's a completely separate thing. With David Howard Thornton.
Yeah, right. He's terrifying,
Yeah,
or Art the
yeah,
Clown, as
yeah,
you
yeah.
would know.
Art the Clown, except Grinch.
Yeah. Did you? I mean, we were kind of talking about it over the weekend, but did you actually watch Survivor Series where Rhea Ripley came out with the art mask?
Yeah, it was cool. It was surprising in that it's not October, but not
Okay.
surprising in that I know she has a lot of crossover and Hot Topics sold T-shirts crossover with them
Yeah.
for the last couple
Yeah.
months.
Well, is she wearing a mask currently while wrestling?
Yeah, she had a broken nose.
So it kind of makes sense to
Yeah.
theme. The only thing I'll go with the theme of why she did it is because she knew there were going to be weapons in it, and why
Hmm.
not have the trash bag, which Art does,
Right.
and have weapons in it. So I
Yeah.
thought it was a nice
Eh,
homage.
Sure. And again, with her already having the crossover with the character through merchandise and everything.
Right. And then on top of that, you had CM Punk coming out the way more off the brand here of just a Halloween 3 season of the witch tights, or
Yeah.
the underpants, and silver shamrock pin. And for me, that was more confusing because it's like I had to research. I was like, wait a second, did San Diego, was that a part of Halloween? No, it's not. It's in California, but
Yeah.
it's not a part of it. And I can't even get a clear answer outside of people within the industry or WWE. He was treating it like it was their Halloween show.
I think it was just a situation of, oh, Rhea's doing this. Well, I love this movie. Let me put some on my tights.
I didn't watch the whole show, so what did AJ Lee come out in?
She just had her normal attire.
Okay, I wasn't sure if she was doing something
Yeah, nobody else did
themed.
anything that were like interesting as far as like attire goes.
Right. Fascinating. Like I expect it with WrestleMania and stuff like that, but like it was, I was fine. I was good with Art. I love that one, but the Halloween one threw me for a loop because I'm like, was this supposed to be ready at a different show and it just didn't show up? And you were
No, I mean
like,
they didn't
I want to
reference
wear
it,
it.
so I think it was just again something that he wanted to do and
Yeah.
figured like, hey, why not?
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair
He's
enough.
a
Well,
fan.
that's Wrestle Talk. So thanks for being a part of the show there.
He's got a
Also,
vampire movie coming out.
oh yeah. Oh yeah, I watched that trailer. I have feelings. Like, here's the thing, because I think that movie's coming to Shudder, if I'm right.
I know it's getting a theatrical release, but I don't know what after that.
What doesn't get a theatrical
Well, yeah.
release now? But I don't know. Like, and maybe it was the way the trailer is made. Maybe it's just a bad trailer, but I was just like, I have no idea what's going on in this movie outside of there's some vampires at night. I can't tell who's a good
Right.
guy. I can't tell who's
Yeah.
a bad guy. What's happening?
I think it's another angry police movie, but they're vampires,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think.
Definitely angry policemen in this movie. 100%. CM Punk is playing his best Stone Cold Steve Austin from the Gridiron Gang. That's what he's doing. So over the weekend, before we get into the show, we actually hung out and about.
In the
We
world.
went to a Christmas event at a brewery, and at said brewery was a Krampus. They were advertising a Krampus, and that's what got us to go to it. And boy, oh boy, this was an event. that they put together. Not to besmirch it, because it's exactly what they actually kind of advertised near the end.
Yeah.
Not to besmirch that, but the photos with Krampus was a little of a letdown.
Misleading.
It was misleading because it was advertised, photos with Krampus, cool, do the QR code, and there were two different two different things you could sign up for, options. One was this heavy-duty $60 package where you get prints, you get this, that, and the other thing. I get it. Pictures, I get it. And then the second one was just sign up. And I'm like, oh, okay. And there was a bit of me that was like, there's definitely going to be something money-wise. Like, yeah, I can get my picture. I thought it was going to end up being QR code scan, get a picture, and then it's like whatever amount of money for a digital picture. Well, we got in line. We were waiting up there. There was a mother and daughter ahead of me that did the free one. They were like, oh, that ain't a thing. If you want a picture with him, it's going to be $25. And it's like, $25 for some digital photos? Okay, but great experience because my kid was there. I actually posted it on the Instagram. You can check it out, Death Curse Club on Instagram. And he had a great, lovely interaction with the Krampus because he was like, have you been a naughty boy this year? And he was like, no, I think I've been good. He was like, all right. And he was like, but my brother, on the other hand, huge naughty guy, naughtiest guy on the list. And Krampus was like, I'm going to kill that guy for you. I got you, kid. So I thought that was a great interaction. We got 4 photos. Like, we didn't pose differently or anything because it was like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Get in, get out, which is fine, whatever. I didn't know what I was getting into, but I was there. Yeah. So now I have a picture. It's Instagrammed, and there you go. I'll write it off on my taxes. So let's get into the show. Before we get into it, though, make sure you check out Gruesome Brew Coffee. Use Death Curse 10 for 10% off your online order. They're taking a break from November 26th to December 10th of packaging. They're going on their little vacation, but then they're going to hit on those orders. They have a winter pack out now, which you can try. So go ahead and try some Gruesome Brew Coffee. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, Jim.
Yo.
Thanksgiving happened.
Yes.
And
it happened.
The day before Thanksgiving, something dropped. And that something was part 1 of Stranger Things Season 5. Now, my initial go into it, I was actually digging the breakup. Like the part 1 being Thanksgiving, part 2 being Christmas, and then the big old grand finale. And I liked it because the way they did Cobra Kai, I hated. I've talked about it. Like, too separated, too long distance in between each other. I don't even think the separation was needed in some aspect. Like, part 1, part 2, okay. But they didn't, like, have a nice mid-season finale.
Yeah.
So my overall thoughts of this show, without spoilers, is I enjoyed sitting with these characters and going on how they're advertising it, one last adventure. It kind of came off as, these are your kids that you love, watch them do it again, with a huge budget. Everything looked good. It gave me that nostalgia feel that I wanted, good use of music, and all the way to what we'll call the mid-season finale. That moment where we get to the end, look, I'm getting goosebumps now. It was perfect. I thought that this was exactly just one season. I would have been fine if you just gave me these 4 episodes and then in 6 months I watched part 2. That's how good I loved it.
Yeah.
Everybody was fantastic. I think people are giving a little too hard criticism to the Dustin character because, like, you got to understand he is grieving. And yes, we have loved Dustin, the fun kid, through this, who does not understand what grief is as a child. And now growing into this teenager, he would know what grief is at this moment. And like, you're going to act like teenage angst has not been a part of any fucking story known to man. I thought this was delivered perfect, and I can't wait till we get to part two.
Yeah. And Dustin, I mean, he's also, he's carrying the torch for his fallen friend from last season. I mean, that was the thing that Eddie had said, that he wanted him to keep on going and keep beating him and keep doing all that.
Right.
And not just turn away from it. As
Right.
far as the release schedule goes, I agree. Like I going into it, I like the idea. I mean, this is a final season and it's a huge show. So by
Mm-hmm.
doing this, you're able to give people the opportunity to kind of keep up with it a little bit and avoid
Mm-hmm.
spoilers. If you drop 9 episodes or 8 episodes with a lot of hours in all at once, you have people that will binge it all at once, and then
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of people will take 2 weeks to get around to watching it all, and that's a lot. So
Yeah.
this gives people a chance that by the time the finale comes out, we're all kind of on the same page. At least if you're really into it, it gives you the opportunity, but don't have the time to binge. It gives
Right.
you the opportunity to be on the same page as everyone else. And like you said with Cobra Kai, it was unnecessary. Cobra Kai was not that big of a show where you need to avoid spoilers. It was not
Mm-hmm.
going to control social media, which is the other reason why shows get released in these these broken schedules to control social media longer.
Right.
They do it with Bridgerton. They release that
Right.
in two separate sections so that they can have those two waves of Twitter control or whatever it is that they
Right.
whatever call it. But I thought the show was great. I thought this is a show that's never really failed. I mean, I think it has one episode that's rates under 8 or 7.5 or something like it's. There's only one episode that rates in the 6 point something.
Oh wow. Is
And
that the 11 travels to California or whatever
yeah, it
and
was in
deals?
season 2. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Um, and I believe last I saw the episode 4 for this season is now the highest rated episode of the show.
Oh wow. Yeah, I mean it's a banger of an episode. I mean, the connective tissue this thing has. I saw a reel today of minor spoilers. If you did not watch it, that's on you. You can mute this, come back, do whatever you want. But I just want to talk about this one sense. Will's going through something, and during it, there's like he has this realization, and during the realization, he's starting. You see this flashback, like it's showing home video style footage of him where he meets Mike and he's on a
Hmm.
swing set. You see him coloring, drawing this fort, and then you see him and his brother building the fort. And I thought this was beautiful. Like just
Yeah.
watching it on its own made me teary. I was invested. Watched a reel today that in season 2, his mom is talking to him about that coloring. His brother, because I haven't watched season 1 or 2 in such a long time. Actually, me and Brooke were talking about like I'm thinking about watching 1 through this part to get ready for
Hmm.
the next one, just because that this was an easy breezy watch.
Yeah.
It didn't feel bloated. It didn't feel like too much. So, anyways, his brothers talk to him. Remember when Dad left us and we built the house,
Hmm.
and shows it. Mike, remember the first day we met? Because I'm guessing Will forgot who he was. That's what my
Right.
point was. Is that they were trying to show who he was. And from season 2, and the first day I met you and we were on the swings, and they had the fucking goal to show all this footage for Will to remember, and that's what makes Will do the Will thing. Light spoilers again. And I just think, and I want to get your feeling on this. If they stick this landing, if they have the brass tacks to stick this landing, will this not arguably be one of the best sci-fi shows that's ever existed?
Yeah, they would have to seriously drop the ball at this point. I mean, like I said, I mean, with the ratings as they are, as they stand now,
Mm-hmm.
for every individual episode, I mean, there's very few shows that people can look at and go like, "Oh, it's just great from like beginning to end," you
Right.
know. And then you really can't, other than like I said, to only have one episode that's down in the yellow or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's for 4 seasons or now 4.5 seasons. I mean, that's a big deal. I mean, there's shows that win Emmys and Golden Globes that don't have that.
Right.
So yeah, I think you'd have to, at this point they'd have to seriously drop the ball. And this is a show that's always nailed their season finales.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be surprised if they don't nail the series finale.
Yeah, I think so too. And the weird thing about this, it's so funny, dude. It is wild the world we live in, because when you look at the MCU was able to take television premise, which is episodic television with minor story connective tissues, bring it to a theatrical experience where everybody wanted to be a part of. And then once they dipped their toes into TV, lost that drive. They had no idea what they were doing, even though they just took that model and messed it up. And this show has taken what movies do as a Star Wars, if you will, and like these 3 parts from, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. And they were able to make a TV show feel like a cinematic movie this entire time. It never felt like a TV show to me. It never, not once. I'm a movie guy. I watch TV. I love TV. It's my jam, baby. But I have always said there's something about this brand that feels a little different. And the difference is that they make this thing feel like a John Hughes movie trapped in an action movie in the 80s. With horror, obviously.
They've always taken their inspiration from movies. I mean, the first season you can look at basically being very a Spielberg-esque kind of scenario. Season 2, you could see where they drew from more James Cameron with Aliens and some Terminator thrown in there. Season 3 was what? Was that the Body Snatchers?
Yeah. Oh, yes, because Max's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Season 4, you definitely drew heavily from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right.
And then season 5 just feels like a huge thing. I mean, even watching early on, I was getting like vibes of when Hopper was getting ready to do his thing.
Yes.
I was starting to think about something like from Escape from New York and things like that.
100%. Yeah, no, 100%. And it also still has that Star Wars feel of like the Empire Strikes Back, specifically of where we're leaving, where it's like, oh, the bad guys kind of won in this, but there's hope. And like, Will's our hope. And this finale, I think they're going to pull off some Lord of the Rings in-game style end to all of it. Did you see, before we leave Stranger Things, did you see that supposedly the tickets go on sale tomorrow for the theater finale?
I have not.
Supposedly that's going down tomorrow. I'm going to theater to see this. I mean, I've never seen a TV show in theater. But there is something, like I've just said here, where this feels cinematic, and I would love to do this. My only hope and my only need and my only want is that the first showtime better be with when it drops on Netflix.
The 8 o'clock, whatever, is what I'm assuming. It'll be 8 o'clock Christmas Eve is what I'm assuming. We haven't seen a specific time or date yet, but that's what I'm assuming it's going to be. I'm hoping it's at least a week run. I mean, I don't know. Like, if it's a week run.
Give a weekend. You can do the weekend.
Yeah. Then I can see where I would probably make an attempt to get in there. I mean, I won't do the 8 o'clock thing because we'll watch it at home.
Right.
But if
your second viewing,
if I can get a second view in the theater, I would probably more than likely be willing to do it. I've never seen a TV show in the theater either. It's something I would be open to doing. I know there was rumors of Andor being recut into a 2-hour movie, which I would totally be into.
I'd do it. I'd go in a heartbeat.
I would totally do that. Yeah, I would definitely.
Well, it's fine. We'll all go see a TV show in theater next year for Mando and Grogu.
Hey, it's going to be great.
It is. Hey, I've seen a TV show cut into a movie. It was called Moana 2. That's what I saw. And it was okay. But you could definitely tell how it was cut from being a TV show and finales and into episodes. It was wild as shit. Yeah. So
I mean, nobody went to Veronica Mars. Nobody went to.
I did. I saw
Serenity.
Veronica. I did.
So,
Serenity. Well, hey, fuck you, pal. Okay, Serenity felt like a movie.
I mean, I don't know. I never watched Firefly, so that's why I didn't bother.
Yeah, you can talk. Don't come in here talking your shit, bruv. Don't come in here when I
didn't watch Veronica Mars either, so.
I did.
Yeah.
And this is what I'll say about those is like when Serenity and Veronica Mars came out, it felt like movies. Like you could tell the color grain was different. Like you're not a Star Trek guy, so yeah. I'll say this: have you ever seen Star Trek Generations?
I think so.
The one with Picard. Yeah, it's the first movie of TNG with Kirk.
Yeah, I know which one it is. I want to say I saw it when it came out on like VHS or DVD or whatever it was at the time.
They tried so hard to make that look a little different from the TV show. Like they used a different color scheme. The uniforms were different and stuff like that. And those movies of Firefly to Serenity and Veronica Mars, they did the same. They tried to have a different color grade to this. With this thing, with Stranger Things, it looks so epic already. Like, I'm just interested how the transfer, like, I know they're not going to do anything. There's no need to do anything, but I'm very interested. Like, it's a finale. So it's kind of got to feel like its own thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to feel like, they're, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. Like, the way the first 15 minutes of that movie, 20 minutes of that movie was just a recap of the entire series. I feel like there needs to be a condensement like that in this. Because I think there are going to be some motherfuckers that don't watch this show that end up watching the finale of the show.
Oh, yeah.
Even on Netflix.
And then they'll hate on it.
Yeah, they will. Oh, my God. I mean, even this show's getting hate. Like, look, I'm not watching... Welcome to Derry. Like, I will. I have not gone back since the first episode. I need to get back on. Brooks already said she doesn't want to watch it, so, like, I'll probably watch it on my own time. But, like, the amount of memes that I'm seeing where people are like, Welcome to Derry's better than Stranger Things. Stop comparing because, A, they're not the same. And if we're going to be forcefully blunt here, it got made because Stranger Things was a popular thing. Like the movie, the 2017 movie, that got made because Stranger Things was such a pop culture hit.
I mean, Stephen King's always gotten movies made, and he's always been something that they've drawn to. I mean, you're not completely wrong. I mean, there's a lot of similarities as far as
motherfucker. They were like ride bikes in this shot. Why ride bikes in this shot?
Right, but I mean, yeah, but it's not like it was made. This is a book that was written long before Stranger Things.
But even Stranger Things, it's a snake eating its own head. Yeah. I understand that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Hollywood was like, Stranger Things was great. What do we have that we can make? Right. Make it. Oh, and put that Finn Wolfhard kid in it too. Yeah. So I mean,
you could also see where season 1 of Stranger Things pulled from Stephen King.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, they homaged it, and I completely understand that. But what I'm saying is like, with Welcome to Derry is just another step in the Stranger Things, let's tag along because we want to be a hit too. We want to be Stranger Things. I get they have their own world. I get that. But like, we can't act like it's not also being done because Stranger Things proved to be right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I would agree that they're different. I mean, I don't necessarily say that one. I would prefer Stranger Things over it, but I actually do enjoy it. I think they are very different. If anything, I would argue that it is the rated R version.
Yes,
especially this show. This show has been way more violent and gory than anything those two movies gave us.
Oh, really?
And and you can see where it references a lot of stuff. I mean, it has ties to The Shining, so.
Yeah, I've seen some bits. Like, I know some things of it, with characters and such, which is cool. And I want to see it, and I'll get around to it. But, like, I just hate when it's always, we can't just have a thing to enjoy.
No, yeah. Everyone
We
always,
can,
if you love something that you have to hate this.
I saw this the other day, and it was kind of my favorite. That back on Stephen King track, and it was this person be like, "Remember when The Long Walk came out, and there were great reviews. It was raving reviews. It was a tremendous, like everybody loved it, and then it hit streaming VOD, and then just it started trickling all these negative reviews about it. You want to know why that's happening? Because you were looking at your phone watching it. You were looking at your phone, so you weren't connected to the characters. You weren't connected to the story. You didn't know what was going on because you were looking at your phone, so you knocked the movie, not yourself. That's exactly what this world is. People watch this, all these things, and it drives me up the fucking wall. I know there's some things you can ignore and stuff like this and blah, 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 but like, for me, if I'm investing 2 hours of my time, just like Stranger Things, I didn't touch my fucking phone once. If you messaged me, I didn't see it because I was into this. I'll check after the credits.
Yeah.
But like, that is the world we live in. Half of these reviews are people being schmucky, then uploading the reviews to hurt a product because you're a fucking dick.
Yeah. And they get more views with hate than they do with love.
Yep. Oh, that's absolutely right. Absolutely. So that's Stranger Things. Can't wait to get into part 2, which drops Christmas Eve, hopefully. It says Christmas, but I'm hoping either Eve or 26th. Give me one of the two.
I expect Eve, Christmas Eve at 8
Do you
8
think the
p.m.
same time? You think
Yeah,
the same time?
8 p.m.
Damn.
That's what I'm expecting.
I mean,
But
if
with a
they
lot
do it,
longer
they do it.
episodes.
I have a feeling they're going to be at least two 90-minuters.
I'm pretty sure I saw that it was an hour 45, an hour 45, 2 hours, and then the finale's 2 hours.
Yeah, the finale I knew would be 2 hours, especially if you're putting it
Yeah.
in theater. So we'll see. All right, let's move on to our one news topic of the day, and that is it's been announced that Scarlett Johansson is going to star in Blumhouse's new take on The Exorcist, which is going to be written and directed by Mike Flanagan. All right, Jim, how do you take this news of we're moving on to a new Exorcist? I think it was already announced that Mike Flanagan was a part of the project. But now that we have ScarJo jumping on and Blumhouse is still continuing to be the producer, do you find this to be like, okay, everybody hated that last one? Though I found it watchable, I get what they were going for. They were doing the Halloween 2018 effect. I get it. But like, how do you take this news about this?
I think, well, yeah. So I think originally no one really jumped on board with that other one, and they were kind of moving away and decided, okay, let's just drop that. And with Mike Flanagan coming along and probably saying, hey, I got an idea, let's do this. And this is a guy who already has a lot of credibility in the community, and a lot of love in the community. So, I mean, that announcement alone was enough for me to get interested. I mean, he's probably one of my favorite working directors right now, especially in the genre. And now to announce Scarlett Johansson, who I love as well, I mean, I'm 100% on board now. I think it's funny, like seeing that announcement, I felt very similar when they announced that she was going to be in Jurassic Park, to where I was like, really? Interesting. Like, I don't, and it's more on the product side than her side, because she's been doing mainstream stuff for a while and but it's just the fact that, like, oh, okay, maybe you're actually taking this seriously if you're bringing her in.
And that's kind of how I took it. It's funny because when ScarJo was announced for Jurassic World, I was like, wow, okay, I'm into this because it is different. Because yes, she has done pop culture stuff for the past whatever amount years, but specifically from 2010 to 2019, she was in the MCU. And so we're used to her being a part of big, massive hits. But then every time she did a hit, she did smaller things. She did Her. You know, she would do that, what was it, Ghost in the Shell she was a part of. She was in Lucy. Like, she's done little hits.
Yeah.
But like, oh, and I'm sorry, it wasn't Endgame as her last one. She did Black Widow, which was 2021. So she did 10 years with the MCU, 11 years. But like doing those like smaller, kind of moderate hits, I would say, of films, it's weird to hear her tacked on to an IP that already exists. But when she was announced for this, just like with Jurassic World, I was like, oh, you're taking this seriously. There's something about this project, that going to hit a little different than what we're used to, I believe. I don't, and what's interesting is we have no idea what the fuck it's about. I doubt that it's going to be connected to the last one. No, I don't think they're going to run with the Deceiver. I think it was going to be Exorcist.
No, I think that's
Deceiver.
done.
Yeah. This franchise in a whole, what a world it has been for The Exorcist. I think probably the most wonkiest of any horror franchise I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is a franchise that's done like 8 movies. It's still seen as like a big name franchise in many ways, but it only has one movie that anybody gives a shit about.
Yeah, the original. Well, you could say the same about fucking Jaws.
Yeah.
Like, same kind of deal. Like, Jaws has 4 movies. You talk about the one. Exorcist has all these movies. But weirdly enough...
But no one's made a Jaws sequel in 30 years.
That's fair, too. But, like, and really when you break it down, like, Exorcist 2, The Heretic, I believe it was called, like... I've only seen it once, and I couldn't even fucking tell you what it was about outside of Linda Blair going to a therapist, reliving Exorcist stuff. I remember Exorcist 3 being okay. I know that
it has a following.
Dude, that scissor shot scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. Like, that was... and it's so simple. It doesn't even make sense why it's so scary, but it is fucking haunting. Then I remember Exorcist the Beginning.
Well, there was Exorcist the Beginning and Exorcist Dominion, which was the double release.
Right, and they were the same movie, just edited
cut differently.
Yeah,
and had completely different tones.
Yeah, I think I saw at least one of them in theater.
Yeah,
I saw one of them in theater, and it was mostly because I was like, because they announced that they were releasing the other one.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I want to check out both of them, and they both sucked. They both fucking sucked. Then there was an Exorcist TV show.
Oh, yeah. I did watch it for
Gina
a while.
Davis? I want to say Gina Davis.
Yeah, I think so. It was Gina Davis, and I can kind of picture the guy that played the priest, but I can't think of his name.
I watched maybe 2 episodes, maybe. And then we get Exorcist Believer, which again, I get where they're coming from, and I think I forget what all the holdups were. I know the older lady was sick, I think, and couldn't proceed doing the project. I don't know what was up with Linda Blair. It was really weird when the movie's doing its thing, and then immediately at the halfway point, they just rip her out of the fucking movie. So then they had to like shuffle some stuff. So I get where people have frustration. The HHN house, fantastic. I'll tell you what, that fucking thing was scary. So going into this, I'm very interested in Mike's take on it because I'm used to Mike Flanagan's Stephen King projects, you know what I mean? Where he hasn't really, for him, dived in supernatural. He's messed with vampires.
Yeah.
He's messed with ghosts. But demonic is very interesting. And I know he has the Carrie TV show coming soon.
Yep, we got that coming out next year as well.
So I'm very interested in Flanagan's takes.
Yeah, I mean, at least we know. I mean, we're going to get a good, probably lengthy monologue, and we're going to get a lot of heart, and we're going to get some good jump scares and good like a good sense of dread. I think.
Yeah.
And I think the story is going to be there. We'll see.
Yeah, I agree there.
I'm curious to see what Scarlett's role is going to be.
And that's what kind of my question to you now is, do you think this will be in the world of The Exorcist we already live in with what happened in the 70s, or do you think this is just its own thing?
I think it probably would just be its own thing. There's no reason to tie it in at this point. We don't need to bring back Linda Blair, and she'd be the only one that you would bring back for any sort of reason to tie it in.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to do that, then there's no point even referencing it.
I agree. I'm into that. And I'm interested if ScarJo is going to play a nun, a priest, a mother, or the body holding the demon. Like
an assassin that goes into the mind of the thing and starts fighting the demon.
Holy shit. It's about her. This rich guy needs to get to an island because he's trying to get this amulet, and the amulet's haunted, and he brings it. So much shit goes down.
Which she was also in The Island.
Yeah, she was. I saw that shit in theater, dog. I saw that in theater. Yeah. So what say you fine folks out there? How you feel about The Exorcist? Let us know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the show on YouTube or Spotify, which also has a video version of this, and you can comment. So our final topic at hand, and what's pretty apropos of conversation, is that we've been talking a lot of, Mike Flanagan and these, horror movie filmmakers that live in the world. But I feel recently there has been an uptick in content. That's right, I said content. From people outside of the horror realm that are making horror. And I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. And I mean this not to knock it. So I want to get your feelings after my initial thought here. So back in 2017 is when Get Out came out. And Get Out, Jordan Peele, writer-director of that, he came out swinging. I mean, it's a fantastic film. He's nominated for Academy Awards. I think he wins Best Script. And I think it was nominated for Best Movie. And from there, he gets hit with all this praise, all this applaud. And it's because you didn't see it coming from him. Because he is more so known as a comedy guy. I mean, you're talking about a guy who was on Mad TV. You're talking about a guy that had a hit comedy show, Key and Peele. And for him to come out with this just out of left field was amazing. And to be such a fantastic film with a great message, great story, is wild. And from there, he delivered a couple of more horror movies, Us, which I would say story-wise and, on a level lesser than Get Out. I enjoy the movie. I think every time I stopped watching Us because every time I watch Us, I like it a little less. So I've stopped watching so I can keep it in the green. And then Nope. And Nope I've only seen once. Maybe I've seen it twice. But I enjoyed it because it came across very Spielbergian. It came off like a Jaws, like a Close Encounters. And I think he came out being like, that's what that was. And ever since then, we have not seen Peele write or direct a horror movie. He's produced some. He's had his hand, Monkey Paw, his company in. But he hasn't done anything. And I think
he's got one on the horizon.
But hold on. That's the thing, though. I think because so much praise, very M. Night Shyamalan, where it's we have the new master of horror, we have the new Spielberg, we have this. I think he is so timid to come out with this that he is taking so much time. And what happens if that project does not compute or come out as well as he wants it to? And for me, when he did Nope, I thought that was a perfect love letter to Spielberg movies, but also his gateway out of doing just straight horror. At that moment, I was almost just let the guy do whatever he wants. He wants to do a Jurassic Park, let him do a Jurassic Park. If he wants to do some other kind of crazy action IP or a comedy or whatever, do what he wants. But I thought it was a perfect way to get out of the world in case if he doesn't want to continue. And now I kind of feel like he's stuck in that hold, and we have to wait to see if he has something good in the horizon. Because producing wise, he hasn't. Like, he's produced a couple of things that have got shat on. Him came out in September, fucking panned, but his name was the lead on that thing. Now, he was the start of this, and now we have a plethora of people. Osgood Perkins, a guy who is a comedy actor. Yes, he is kin to Anthony Perkins, fame of Psycho, but didn't write Psycho. So I don't know why we automatically assume this guy should fucking write and direct horror, but apparently he has to. And did I enjoy The Monkey? Absolutely. Corky fucking movie. But the Long Legs, his debut, again, this comedic guy coming in and writing and directing a horror movie, which I enjoy. I do not think it's on the level that some have put it at, but I enjoyed, and I think really just stands because of Nicolas Cage's performance of why it got treated so high. But like, he dropped 2 movies this year. You saw the other one, which we have a review on this channel, Keeper, which got panned as well. So Monkey and Keeper both kind of not sitting well. Then you have the guy who did Barbarian. He was a part of, I forget the troupe's name. It's a comedy troupe, so forgive me. I don't even remember the guy's fucking name. But he did Barbarian. I'm not a fan of Barbarian. I don't like the split story because it comes off a little too short story to make one combined movie. It's watchable. I enjoyed it when I watched it on TV, but not top 25 movie that year for me. Gets so much praise. So much praise that he comes out with Weapons. When I watched it in theater, I was like, yeah, it's okay. That's fine. Further I get away from it, I don't like it. And you've been on record to say, if that story was not done in the style, if it was straightforward, would not get the praise that it would get. And I agree with you on that. For me, the amount of comedy people that have created diminishing returns in my eyes on everything. Like I said, I think the only person that I'm giving leeway here is Jordan Peele, because I think he had an out and I'm scared about what he's coming out with. But I personally am done with comedians doing horror and being called the next king of horror. That's where I'm done. I'm good, guys. Like, in the guy who did Weapons, I know he produced Companion. I know he didn't write it. I know he didn't direct it. And even Osgood. Perkins didn't write Keeper. I did not know that until after the movie came out. The writer of that had something else that even came out this year that I was like, yeah, that's fine. It wasn't great, but it was okay. So I can't give full blame to Perkins to directing that. He probably fucking owed a guy a favor. But what are your thoughts here, Jim? Am I just too goddamn crazy of thinking about these guys?
A little bit, I think.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, and Perkins did some stuff. Was involved in some things within the genre as well before Long Legs. But man, I think anytime, first of all, anybody, no matter what the genre, when you're releasing stuff on a regular basis, there's going to be a sort of feel of diminishing returns. There's a reason why someone like Quentin Tarantino gets a lot of praise for everything he does, and it's because there's usually a huge gap in between his movies. So when you get one, you're excited that you're getting one. So you're like, oh, this is awesome because I have another movie. Where if he released one every year, you would be like, oh, that's fine.
Right.
As far as, that being people from comedy, I mean, I think you can pick people from not from within comedy and people that are considered horror icons and masters of horror. You can look at Sam Raimi, who's had some bad work. John Carpenter has some bad work.
100%.
Everybody has that bad work in there. So I don't necessarily think, to call them out for it just because of that. And comedians working in horror, though I feel like it's fairly on the new side as far as the writing and directing aspect of it. Because we've also saw it with Stuckman or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Chris Stuckman.
And I think somebody from TikTok made a horror movie. I mean, horror just seems to be where you go. If you, I mean, even it always has been where you went if you want to make a movie and you want to make
Right.
a start of a movie. I mean, Rob Zombie came out of music and decided I'm going to make horror movies.
Right.
So people have always come out of nowhere, and comedians have been in horror for even longer, but usually more on the acting side, and they
Mm-hmm.
usually do really well. You can look at Robin Williams in 1 Hour Photo.
Mm-hmm.
Even Jim Carrey in Number 23, which is not a great movie, he's fairly good in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because a lot of these comedy guys, most comedians are damaged individuals. Like they'll tell you, like they're damaged.
Yes.
They have a lot of pain in them and they laugh about it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where a lot of their comedy comes from. So moving into horror just feels like a natural aspect for it because there's a lot of similarities between comedy and horror. They're
Mm-hmm.
just on the it's just a different spectrum, but they're almost exactly the same as the ride that you go on.
Right. But like even with your examples, like thinking about someone like Sam Raimi and John Carpenter, like these are guys that lived in a different decade doing it. And if you want to call a spade, like both of them dipped their toes in not horror.
Right.
Sam Raimi did For Love of the Game.
Right.
Not a lot of people talking about it, but he fucking did it. John
Car
Carpenter
still made it in.
Yeah, yeah. John Carpenter did Memoirs of the Invisible Man. It's not a scary movie. We'll call it a romantic comedy, but I don't know what it is.
He made an Elvis movie.
He made an Elvis movie. And like these side projects that they don't go back to it. And John Carpenter's a weird cat anyways, because like, what the fuck are we doing? But when I think of actors, some of the examples, actors, in my opinion, just my opinion, are the one spectrum in entertainment of movie making or show making that have to have a variety. Because we make fun of typecasting. We make fun of when someone's just playing themselves. When someone who is got trauma and trouble and stuff like that, when they go outside of their realm, it's fun or depressing or whatever it is to watch on screen. Amazing. And I think that is something that's great. But also, these guys just don't do horror. They do drama. They do The Truman Show. They do Punch Drunk Love. They do things like that as well that shows the broad spectrum of just not being a comedian. These guys just going in horror is what's weird to me. I'm not saying any of them don't do well, but what it is, it's not even them actually. If you think about the whole cusp of it, it's what the internet or different magazines or whatever praise out there that's doing it, it's them saying, oh, this is the next brand of horror. This is the next example. And why I find that frustrating is because I look at someone like Parker Finn, who delivered Smile and Smile 2, and I never hear his fucking name. Yeah. And that guy is fucking my favorite horror writer director going today. And I don't hear anything about him. I hear about Barbarian and Weapons Guy all the fucking time. I hear that he has 15 projects down the pike. I hear Jordan Peele has a horror movie that's coming out in 2026. No, it got pushed to 2027. Well, maybe it'll come out in 2028, but he's got a horror project coming, guys. Like, these are the type of things that are kind of upsetting because we live in a world where Mike Flanagan's out here absolutely wrecking it every single time. But I still feel like he has to fight up. I feel like he has to be CM Punk in this situation while fucking Weapons Boy's walking around like he's Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And if you understood that reference, thank you.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I definitely agree. I think with Mike Flanagan, yes, he does definitely not feel like gets the credibility or the star power that these other guys are getting. But I think a lot of that has to do with him primarily living in the world of television, and he hasn't really proved himself to be a box office juggernaut yet. If he can get himself some money some box office money. I think that'll change.
Right.
We'll see how that goes, especially with The Exorcist. I think the other thing that's probably, I think where a lot of your irritation is coming from is that I feel like more now in the last 10 years or in the world of social media, there's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of hyperbole. And when it becomes that somebody drops something, it's the best thing ever.
Right.
And that's it. It's just the best thing ever, and that's where that next Masters of Horror comes from, and that's where that next the next best thing is coming from. Oh, he's it. This is the guy from here on out. And when they
Right.
really haven't proved themselves, they just got lucky. In some cases, they had one good hit, and then that'll be it.
Right.
So even a Jordan Peele, who's released 3 movies, I mean, yeah, I think he's proved that he knows what he's doing. I mean, because
Right.
you look at, again, I'll drop back to Tarantino, who by his third movie, I mean, hell, by his second movie, people were already like, oh, yeah, this is a guy. He's got it. He's a
Yeah,
star.
because his second movie is what? Pulp Fiction?
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And his third movie actually was actually one that I really like, but is one of a lot of people's least favorite, which is Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown, that's my favorite. That's
Yeah.
my favorite one. But in the same sense, it's not. I think a lot of people that don't say it's their favorite is because it's not based on something he created.
Right. But yeah, I can see. So I can see where some of this stuff is. But yeah, the barbarian weapons guy, he's
Hmm.
yet to be real. I think he shows. I think I've seen where he knows what he's doing. But as far as his movies go, he hasn't really like thrilled me. But I do think he's somebody who knows what he's doing. I think there's a lot of guys out there that know what they're doing. But until
Hmm.
to be like a master of horror, I think you need to have a little bit more under your belt, or at least
Hmm.
have something that I can look at and go like, okay, like you really like. I would put Flanagan up there already, even though he hasn't really done the box office, but just his television work alone.
Right. But that's the thing, though. We live in a new generation. Like, we can't compare him to a John Carpenter or whatever because John Carpenter is in a different time period where he's just doing movies. Where we now live in a streaming world where more people stay at home, and it's almost like, well, let's go dimes to donuts. How many hours of whose product is getting watched? Like, Mike Flanagan delivered The Haunting of Hill House, and that was a massive hit for Netflix. I think the next haunting, and I think I forget the name off the cuff of the vampire one.
Midnight Mass.
Midnight Mass. I almost called it Salem's Lot. But like those were big hits for them. And yeah, Doctor Sleep wasn't a big, massive hit. It did have stars. But again, I will put Doctor Sleep against Weapons if we're going for star power to star power. Ewan McGregor versus John Brolin, Rebecca Ferguson versus fucking chick from Wolfman. Like, I think Doctor Sleep is a 10 times better movie. And it does come across as that thing I've been kind of fighting of just because it's popular doesn't mean it's good. And it's
But it
like,
doesn't mean it's bad either.
no, absolutely. But is it also meaning that it's just equated to being okay?
I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there who go like who will hate on things because it's popular.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it a lot,
Right.
or I knew somebody who refused to watch Stranger Things because they've been a Dungeons and Dragons fan forever, and they're like, well, they're just people now are love Dungeons and Dragons because of Stranger Things, and it's like it's what they call gatekeeping, I guess, but
Yeah. Right.
and
Instead of being
that's
a gatekeeper, just let it be a gateway.
yeah, just enjoy it and be happy you're getting something. And like, I don't know. I think people hate things for the sake of hating sometimes. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of both. I think there's both. There's the people who love things just because everyone says it's amazing, and then there's also those who hate things because everyone says it's amazing.
100%.
People need to get used to just going out there and forming their own opinions, and no one wants to bother to do that anymore because there's people like us on here giving you opinions.
Right. Right.
We're telling you what to think.
I'm telling you, motherfuckers.
Yeah. So I don't have to make my own opinion because I got 100,000 people telling me what to think.
That's true. That's true. Okay, here you go. Last question. Fuck, marry, kill. Peel, Kreger, Perkins. Fuck, marry, kill. I think for me, I'm killing Kreger. I think I'm marrying Peel because of his storytelling. I mean, I just can live in that world. And I think I'm going to fuck Perkins because he's got a fucked up mind and I'm into it.
Yeah, he's gonna be the kinky one,
Yeah,
and Phil's got more money, so I'm going. Yeah,
Yeah!
sounds like a good lineup there.
Hell yeah, brother. Awesome. Well, what say you? How do you feel about this rant I went on? Do you feel the same? Do you think I'm just overblowing the entire thing? And also, who would you fuck, marry, kill? Let us know in the comments. Make sure you are subscribed to whatever podcast feed you're on, Amazon, Spotify, Apple. You can check us out on YouTube. Do what you want. We're here. We're here to entertain you. This is the Death Curse Club podcast, the Death Curse Club show, whatever you want to call it. Jim, you want to promote anything?
I don't know. Go watch Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare on Peacock.
All right. And make sure you follow Jim at Enter the Pooniverse on any social media platform, mostly TikTok for the dances. So, till next time, we will catch you later. Stay whatever the end of the show is.
Boo.
Did you just end the show?